Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Operation Arsenal. I'm alive. I know I haven't posted in a good few days. You can probably hear it on my voice. I haven't been very well. Feeling a lot better today, although that game has made me wish I was just in bed asleep again. Um, it's proving quite difficult to watch Arsenal in the Premier League at the moment, and what really upsets me is we saw the real attacking Arsenal in the Champions League against PSV, where of course, yes, we scored 7 when maybe we could have only scored 3 or 4 normally. But what I mean is, okay, you're afforded more space and time in the Champions League. These European sides that don't play against Premier League teams week in, week out, and know that they have to be so tight and so defensive. I mean, the difference between playing PSV and playing Manchester United in the space of less than a week, it's insane. It felt like we were playing a relegation team today, genuinely. And look, I'm not here to laugh and joke about Manchester United. They're in a really tough spot at the moment, and they're one of the biggest clubs in the world. This obviously cannot last, and it should not last. They need to climb out of this, okay? But they look and feel like a relegation team when you're playing against them. Coming from an Arsenal fan watching Arsenal, okay? We've gone to Old Trafford today, and this is evidence, okay, that we've come to play football and win the game. And this is also evidence that Manchester United did not intend whatsoever to play football against us. It was low block, sometimes 6 at the back, but mainly 5-4-1, sit behind the ball and just hope, just pray that something can happen. And this right here is exactly that. It was a moment, a free kick, brilliantly whipped in by Fernandes. And look, I'll be honest, it's a good free kick, but it's not a special free kick. It's not something unimaginable, okay? Most goalkeepers genuinely, I think, saved that. I'm not sure why Raya wasn't able to save this one. And Raya, for me, arguably had the moment of the match later on in this game. So I'm not going to sit here and say Raya's to blame because he had an outstanding game, actually. But for me, the free kick, he should be saving that. I said it when I was streaming, and again, shout out to anyone who was in the stream. Bruno was never, ever going to hit that to the left side. He was always going to bend it over the wall, okay? 99 times out of 100. And I think it's worth the gamble to shift to the middle of the goal a little bit further to cover more space to your left and leave a slight more gap to the right in the weird, crazy event that Bruno thinks, do you know what, I'm going to hit it in the top left. If that happens, fair play, you got outdone. But the odds are he's going to go over the wall. So why aren't you just giving yourself... I mean, let's be fair. Raya isn't the tallest goalkeeper. He's 6 foot, I think, or 6'1" at max. He's got to be further to his left, in my opinion. But I'm not a goalkeeping coach. I just feel like 9 times out of 10, a Premier League goalkeeper saves that free kick. I can't be the only one who thinks that. So let me know what you think. But in the second half, purely because it had to happen, Arsenal had to be a lot more direct. We couldn't afford ourselves the luxury of just playing the ball around waiting for a gap to appear. We had to go for it, which meant we also left gaps in behind, which then United were able to exploit. So that is why you see, and in my opinion, a much better half of football. This is what we want to see in football. This isn't. But this is what wins you games, unfortunately. And you know, we get a lot of, Arsenal are so boring. But the reality is, okay, when you see the game against PSV and then you see today's game, it's the same Arsenal side with pretty much the exact same system, okay? But you're seeing PSV, a team that wanted to play football and go toe-to-toe and enjoy some actual footballing play, okay? Yes, they got destroyed for it. But it was just better, right? Sucks that they lost. But it proves my point that this wins games. This is more frantic and old. Unfortunately, this is what football used to be way more often. Everything is so systematic, so tactical, and it is unfortunately the way football is going. Everything is stats. Everything is machine learning. What's the best statistically? What's the best thing to do? Get a computer to work it out. Why not just have 11 guys on the pitch that just want to play football and win? That's what we had in this second half. Arsenal had to go for it, and United had plenty more going forward because we were leaving gaps. And honestly, On another day, United could have scored 3 or 4 goals. They really could have. Here are the lineups. It's when I look at the United team, I do question how it's got so bad. It's pretty awful. And of course, we are also really struggling going forward. Defensively, we've got such a good unit. Midfielders, we're fine. But obviously, with all the injuries, we just weren't able to just have that moment of magic until Declan Rice found a bit of space. And yeah, he's smashed it in off the post. It's a beautiful equaliser. Man of the match for me has got to be David Raya. That save, double save, really, right at the end. I mean, that's as good as a goal. They should have been 2-1 up and they would have won the game. And this is a load of rubbish, by the way. United were not playing 3 at the back today at any point. And look, maybe it's going to come across as me being an Arsenal fan and being a bit salty, but I remember the old days of Arsenal versus Manchester United. It was always just hectic, frantic, insane 90 minutes of end-to-end football, red cards, lunging in tackles, aggression, flair, tricks, everything. It had everything. And then you watch that, and I'm sorry, but there's only one team that wanted to play football today. And I don't blame Amorim. I don't blame Manchester United for playing the way they did today. It was the only way they were going to get a result. And in their predicament, that's all that matters, results. It is kind of embarrassing. It really is. We're playing at Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. And the reality is, the team that owned that stadium, and it's falling apart, by the way, but the team that owned that stadium didn't want to play football today. They were terrified, absolutely terrified. And it honestly felt like we were playing a relegation team. And I mean this with the greatest respect, United fans, if there are a few of you watching, I'm sure there are some. I totally get it, because this is where we were 5, 6, 7 years ago when we were Comedy FC and we were just struggling to I mean, it wasn't this bad, to be fair. 8th was the lowest we got to, but it felt similar, that it was just a panic week in, week out, just to exist and not lose. And that's the reality of Manchester United right now. They're not thinking about going on 5 win streaks and climbing the table. Right now, it's just about not getting decimated week in, week out, and just somehow producing a competent display. And today they got that. It was very defensive in the first half, but the second half was a lot better. Quick word on Aidan Heaven, who of course is an ex-Arsenal player. I watched him pre-season for Arsenal. I thought he looks very tidy, and I was quite impressed with him. I think he's definitely going to be a good player for the future. We didn't get to see Obi, the other Arsenal academy player that left. Idiot. Yes, okay, he's earning obscene money, but it's a stupid decision in my opinion. He shouldn't have left. But anyway, it's not up for me to debate that. If he's getting 70 grand a week, which is the reported amount, I mean, fair play to him. You know, if that's what you wanted to do with your career, going to, I was going to say a sinking ship. They're already sunken. They're gone. United are, where are they? Let's have a look, shall we? Manchester United are currently 14th in the Premier League. 14th. Do you know how much banter and how many memes and just the sheer devastation I had to live through because we finished 8th? 8th. That was awful at the time. 14th. And they're getting half the amount of banter. It's ridiculous. It really is. But with that draw, it has all but sealed, which was already sealed, the Premier League win for Liverpool with 9 games to go. 15 points clear with a game played, extra played, but it's obviously already done. And today just all but confirmed it for sure. I think realistically, the interesting race we're going to watch now is who is going to get 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I know obviously Arsenal are favourites to get 2nd, and I think we obviously will, especially with Martinelli back now, which was great to see. And Saka is reportedly coming back this month, so that's good news. But is it going to be Nottingham Forest in 3rd? Are Chelsea and City going to be battling it out for 4th? Or are Brighton and Villa going to make it up there? Bournemouth, Newcastle. You've got an incredible chance here. I think there is actually a potential we could have 7 or maybe even 8 clubs in Europe next year if certain competitions are won by certain teams outside of the positions. It's hard to explain briefly, but there are a lot of teams that are possibly in with a shout of getting European football next season. So that is where the interest is going to be for me. Of course, looking down at the bottom, it's almost certain that Southampton are gone. I know it's not mathematically done, but yeah. And Leicester and Ipswich, either of them could potentially climb out, but it's just not going to happen, is it? I think Wolves, they are still just about too good to be in the relegation zone. So this isn't really anything to watch. It's absolutely these positions here. And I think it's going to be a really interesting end to the season. But congrats to Manchester United on getting a point today at the mighty Old Trafford by not playing football. I'm not salty at all. I'll be honest, guys, it's probably a fair result. At the end of it, whilst Arsenal had the ball and dominated, more shots, more play, whatever, United actually had some very good chances to even win the game. So fair play, saltiness aside, bitterness aside, a 1-1 result is pretty fair. Now, MJH United should be back tomorrow. As I said at the start of this video, I've been unwell, so apologies for that. Should be good to go. And I will be resting my voice until then. It's just been never-ending this year, just constant issues. But yeah, we're back. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.